This video breaks down an intense 400-meter hurdles final from the CARIFTA Games, where Jamaica's top young athletes delivered a masterclass. We analyze race strategy, hurdle technique, and the key moments that decided the outcome.
One of four Trinidad and Tobago athletes to do so.
We did have qualifying in the under-20 boys 400 hurdles. And we're set for quite a final coming up. Two wins for the Bahamas in the 400 hurdles, one for the US Virgin Islands. The Jamaicans are favored in the last one. They have two big guns, the only two who have gone under 51 seconds this season, ranked 5th and 6th in the world this year at the under 20 level. And so they come in as handy favorites, but we've seen so often at these CARIFTA Games that matters not whether you're the favorite, because there are some informed kids coming for the titles.
If anything, there is a slight boost for Robert Miller. His record in the under-17 competition still stands.
Let's head across to Donald Oliver. Hurdles final coming up. Jehu Gordon, the record holder, 49.76. Here's the lineup. Jeremiah Francis of Trinidad and Tobago, Zion Davis, Bahamas, Shane West, Trinidad and Tobago, Robert Miller, Jamaica, Kyle Ned, Grenada, Princewell Martin, Jamaica, Akane Samuel Francis of St. Kitts and Nevis, and Rashad Gibson of Barbados. Going through their final paces, the crowd being introduced to the long jumpers, including, of course, the reigning Austin Seeley Award winner, Janeda Gans. Also in that lineup for Trinidad and Tobago, Gianna Paul, who led the heptathlon impressively last year before injury rolled her on to the remainder of the competition. No combined events action for her this season. She is going for it all in the long jump final. There's Robert Miller, still the under-17 400 hurdles record holder. Fell from the outside, lane number 8 at the Jamaican High School Championships in the under-20 final. He'll be hoping to avoid a repeat tonight in search of a medal. The introduction of the long jumpers has been going on for quite a while now. There are 20 of them, so you can imagine it's taking a little while. Here's a look at Kyle Ned of Grenada. Looked good in qualifying this morning. Is there a chance for a medal? Let's start on the outside. Rashad Gibson of Barbados, 54.23 in qualifying. Takes his place in lane number 8 in the championship race. Akane Samuel Francis, a silver medalist last year at the under-17 level, 53.68 to get to this final, the competition. He has the quality to medal. Princewell Martin won the under-17 400 hurdles title in Kingston in 2022, took silver at the under-20s last year. He's one of the favorites. Kyle Ned of Grenada, good in qualifying at 52.16, ran with a lot of confidence this morning. Let's see if he can repeat or get even better in the final. Robert Miller at 50.89 is the 6th fastest under-20 athlete in the world this year. He is last year's under-17 champion and still the record holder. In lane number 3 from Trinidad and Tobago, Shane West, 52.20 in qualifying today. Has an outside shot to the medal, and with the crowd pushing him, you never know. In lane number 2 for the Bahamas, 52.23 in qualifying, Zion Davis. And closing out the field, in lane number 1, Jeremiah Francis of Trinidad and Tobago. He qualified with 54.46. final of the under 20 boys 400 hurdles.
Shane West just taps his right thigh. Hopefully everything's all right. You know how athletes are. A little superstition. Just get the feel, make sure everything's right.
Francis, Trinidad and Tobago. Davis, Bahamas. West, TNT. Miller, Jamaica. Ned, Grenada. Martin, Jamaica. Samuel Francis, St. Kitts and Nevis. Gibson, Barbados. Final of the under 20 boys 400 hurdles. Who will get it? Who will get the under 20 boys 400 hurdles gold medal? The Grenadian Con Ned has gone out quickly. Closes down on the Jamaican Princewell Martin, who starts to respond down the backstretch. The second Jamaican Robert Miller going steadily in lane number 4. Ned, Martin and the Canadian Francis of St. Kitts and Nevis, with Robert Miller drawing closer for Jamaica. 4 close together as they get ready to transition down the stretch. It's Robert Miller who leads, overstriding to a couple of the hurdles, but they say that is better than chopping strides. He's put it together now. Robert Miller is well clear of the rest of the field. There's a battle on for silver. Princewell Martin will get it ahead of a Canadian Francis of St. Kitts and Nevis, who gets bronze. But Robert Miller, in his first year at the under 20 level, decimates the field and wins back-to-back 400 hurdles gold medals at the CARIFTA Games. That really was stunning. Fell at the Jamaican High School Championships, but he has put it together brilliantly today. 50.42, it's the personal best and the CARIFTA gold medal.
The under-20 boys 400-meter hurdles final at the 2025 CARIFTA Games in Trinidad and Tobago was more than just a championship race. It was a technical and psychological examination of one of the most demanding events in track and field. Combining sprint speed, rhythm precision, and barrier efficiency, the 400-meter hurdles often exposes even the smallest weaknesses. In this final, however, it also revealed why Jamaica continues to dominate the development of quarter-milers and hurdlers at the junior level. From a structural standpoint, the race can be divided into 3 key phases. The opening 150 meters, the critical middle section between hurdles 4 and 8, and the final straight where fatigue management becomes decisive. Entering the race, all eyes were on Robert Miller and Princewell Martin, not only because of their times, but because of their demonstrated ability to control rhythm under pressure, a defining trait in elite hurdling. At the gun, the stagger once again created early visual confusion, particularly with athletes in the outer lanes such as Zion Davis and Rashard Gibson appearing aggressive through the first hurdle. However, the real indicator of race control in the 400-meter hurdles is not the first barrier, but the consistency of stride patterns between hurdles. Miller established immediate authority here. His approach to hurdle 1 was smooth, with no visible stutter steps, allowing him to lock into his planned rhythm early. What separated Miller in the opening phase was his stride discipline. While many junior athletes tend to attack the race with excessive urgency, often leading to breakdown later, he maintained a controlled cadence. His takeoff points were precise, and his trail leg recovery remained compact, minimizing time spent in the air. This efficiency is crucial, as every fraction of a second lost over a hurdle compounds across 10 barriers. Princewell Martin, running in close proximity, matched Miller through the early hurdles but with a slightly more aggressive approach. His stride frequency was marginally higher, suggesting an attempt to apply early pressure. While this kept him competitive through the first half of the race, it also hinted at a potential trade-off: increased energy expenditure before the decisive stages. The middle phase of the race, often referred to as the rhythm zone, is where most 400-meter hurdle finals are won or lost. Between hurdles 4 and 8, athletes must maintain both speed and technical precision while lactic acid begins to accumulate. This is where Miller's race intelligence became evident. Rather than forcing his stride pattern, he adapted seamlessly, maintaining fluidity even as fatigue began to set in. In contrast, several competitors, including Kyle Ned and Akanias Samuel Francis, began to show subtle disruptions in rhythm. These disruptions often manifest as shortened strides before the hurdle or slight hesitations in takeoff, small inefficiencies that quickly escalate. While both athletes displayed strong sprinting ability, their hurdle clearance became less consistent, costing them valuable momentum. Martin remained Miller's closest challenger during this phase, but signs of strain began to emerge. His hurdle clearance became slightly flatter, and his ground contact times increased marginally. These are classic indicators of an athlete beginning to fatigue in the 400-meter hurdles, where maintaining technique under pressure is often more important than raw speed. As the race transitioned into the final straight, the defining characteristic was not speed, but resilience. The 9th and 10th hurdles are where races are truly decided, as athletes must summon the ability to maintain form despite extreme fatigue. Miller's superiority in this phase was unmistakable. His posture remained upright, his arm action controlled, and crucially, he avoided the common error of overreaching into the final hurdles. Behind him, the field began to fragment. Martin fought to hold his position, but the early aggression appeared to take its toll. His final hurdle clearance lacked the same sharpness, and his sprint to the line was marked by visible tightening. Meanwhile, athletes like Ned attempted late surges, but the earlier technical inefficiencies limited their ability to close the gap effectively. What made Miller's performance particularly impressive was not just the winning time, but the way he constructed the race. He demonstrated an advanced understanding of pace distribution, energy conservation, and technical consistency, qualities that are rarely fully developed at the under-20 level. His ability to remain composed, both physically and mentally, allowed him to execute a near-complete race. From a broader perspective, this final reinforced Jamaica's strength in producing well-rounded 400-meter hurdlers. Unlike many regions where athletes rely heavily on either sprint speed or hurdle technique, Jamaican development systems appear to emphasize the integration of both. Miller and Martin exemplified this balance, even if their race strategies differed. In conclusion, the 2025 CARIFTA under 2400 meters hurdles final was not just a showcase of talent, but a lesson in execution. Robert Miller didn't simply outperform his rivals. He outthought them, outcontrolled them, and ultimately outlasted them. In an event where precision and endurance must coexist, that combination proved decisive.